So you've purchased the PTO link. Excellent choice. Today we're going to be covering some of my favorite coupling and uncoupling tips that I give out to all customers. If you're here to troubleshoot, why is it not working like you're seeing on some of the videos? Well, we're going to help you with that as well. Some of the tractors that we use are freewheeling tractors, so that might be the issue that you're dealing with. Maybe you have a tractor that doesn't freewheel. We're going to cover all those kind of things in this video. So stay tuned. We got some good tips for you. Let's get to it. So an important reminder, if you have not yet watched the video found at FAQ 5, it is a driveline measuring video. You need to do that before using the PTO link system. In that video, I talk about how to measure to make sure you don't bottom out the driveline during your hydraulic lifts. Do not assume you have enough room when adding the PTO link. Always measure to avoid bottoming out and damaging your equipment if the shaft becomes too long. To install the tractor coupler, align the splines and slide it until the ball bearings stop against the end of the shaft. Then pull back the collar. As it begins to slide, you can release it so the ball bearings lock into place. If you hold the collar back, it can travel too far and become overinstalled and look like this. If that happens, just pull the coupler back until the ball bearings lock into the notches. This is what it looks like if it's underinstalled. When installing the implement coupler into the implement receiver, align the splines and insert it until it stops. Then pull the collar open to insert it further. If you hold the collar open, it can slide too far into the U-joint area. This is overinstalled and will cause damage when pressed against the greaser or U-joint T. Just pull the coupler out until you hear the click of the ball bearings fall into the notches. Give it a tug to make sure it's secure. When you slide it forward, if you don't hear the ball bearings click into place, there's likely a burr on the spline from previous implement use, as shown here. A burr will prevent the newly machined coupler from sliding far enough to lock into the notches. You will need to locate the burrs, then file them down. Once the burrs are removed, it will slide forward enough to lock securely into the notches, like shown here. When properly installed, it should look like this. If you are testing your new couplers and they are now stuck together, this can happen because the machining on the base of the mill is tapered. So if they are overinstalled or put together backwards, the metal may get stuck on the tapered area near the base. Here's a couple easy ways to get these apart. You can also use a hammer to tap on one of the sides to dislodge them. Place a claw hammer between the two couplers and leverage them apart, or just use your feet to hold one side and give it a strong tug. If either of your couplers appear to be stuck on the tractor or implement, even after the collar is pulled back, it is likely the result of a driveline being too long and bottoming out during use. The ball bearings will dig into the spline and create a burr from the pressure of hydraulic lifts and/or turns. Reach out to me for specific instructions for removal. Remember, never assume. Measure to confirm proper length. Does your tractor freewheel? We recommend coupling the PTO link system using the freewheeling feature if your tractor has that option. We'll show you the tips for using tractors that do and those that do not freewheel. For more detailed information about how to check your tractor for freewheeling or helpful options to use if it doesn't freewheel, see FAQ number 7. Okay, so this tractor is one of those that only does a limited turn freewheel on the tractor side. I can't get it to go any further. So I usually kind of set it about in the middle. And then when I go to align my 4 studs, remember to align the studs, it's best to shoot for only 2 studs, then press it together to align the others. If I can't rotate the implement side, in this case I can a little bit because it's a bush hog and my blades aren't on the ground. But if I needed to align those 4 holes like it's not aligned now, I can just adjust my tractor side just a little bit, push that together, and then finish it off by rotating the tractor side. In this case, it didn't rotate enough. I'm gonna have to focus on the implement side more to connect that. Sometimes rotating both sides in opposite directions is the quickest way to complete the connection. And I just jigged a little bit and it did. Again, I'm going to align it. You can see that my holes aren't aligning. I can then rotate this all the way, find where it's going to fit the bows. I typically will do it this way. I'm supporting the weight of the shaft while getting those 2 plates to go in, and see my pin is pushed back. I just rotate the tractor side clockwise and that goes right in. When installing the plunger pin, the hole is directly across from the locking pin hole for HD and SD systems. The compact system is a little different. We'll go over that later in the video. I'll find that hole back there, start it through. If it is giving me difficulty going through, I lift up and it slides right through. Remember, the plunger pin is required during operation for warranty coverage. It protects the system from reverse torque events and also aligns and holds the couplers in the tightest position against the studs. We recommend having a spare plunger pin if yours should get lost while not in use. This is Kira's first time ever coupling the PTO link system on a 3-point hitch implement. This is what it looks like for a new user applying our tips in real time. Notice how she holds the shaft to support the weight and aligns the studs, then rotates the tractor side a 1/2 inch twist for coupling. When installing the plunger pin, she starts it through the tractor side, then she lifts up on the shaft to align the holes before sliding it through both coupler plates, then confirms the pin is secure. Place the compact tractor coupler on the spline, then pull back the collar, slide forward to lock the ball bearings into the notches. Insert the implement coupler into the implement, then slide the collar to lock the ball bearings. Be careful not to overinstall it. Slide the shaft forward to align the holes, starting with just one, then press the 2 coupler plates together, holding the implement side tight to allow for rotating either side to complete the coupling. Finish it off by inserting the safety bolt through one of the holes to secure the system. The only system that has the ball detent style pin, we call that the safety bolt, ball detent versus the wedge tip. This is called the plunger pin that used on other system. The only one is with the compact. It's going to have the ball detent. Has 2 different options for it to go in. If you ever find that it won't go through because of either the collar style or a pin is in the way, then you just go to the other one or just take it in from the other side. Today I'm going to demonstrate if you have a tractor that doesn't freewheel at all and you need to rotate the implement, and let's say it's a batwing, baler, flail mower, finish mower, something that doesn't freewheel very easily. What I'll use is the wrench. I'll lock that right onto this existing spline right here. I can then lift this up, pull it in the right spot. This aligned, but sometimes they don't. You would use this to rotate it around. Just find the spot that you have clearance. In this case, this being down is actually better for me. See, I can lock it right in. If I was uncoupling it, I'd pull the pin out, lock it on there, find the place where I have clearance, rotate that around until it uncouples. And that's how you would couple or uncouple using the PTO line wrench. By the way, we have a whole video on the use of the PTO sling as well as the PTO wrench for folks that might need those 2 tools, especially if you have a heavy shaft or an implement shaft that needs extra leverage for rotating and coupling. We've recently updated the compact implement male coupler, so not only can you use the PTO aligned spanner wrench on the HD and the SD system, if you have the compact male with white and black labels shown here, you can now also use the wrench on that version as well. This is especially important for those of you that have a tractor that doesn't freewheel and your implement is a finish mower, flail mower, or any other implement that's difficult to rotate. If you need the extra leverage, this is the tool you'll need when coupling the PTO link system. If my pin is facing the wrong way like it is now, I can just lift up a little bit. You see, I could rotate that. If I put weight on that, I can't rotate that pin at all. Some people find they struggle with getting that pin out. The easiest thing is lift up a little bit on the implement, then you can rotate that very freely, see? Lifting it up is what it does, is lines that hole smoother so things go in and out and you can rotate that pin. So it's hard to rotate with pressure on it, but when I lift it up, I can rotate that pin so much easier. And then just press the wedge tip down with your thumb and push it out while you're still supporting the weight, and it will come right out, just like that. Quick tip on how to use that pin. For uncoupling one of these tractors that doesn't freewheel, I typically would tell people, pull out on the locking pin, jiggle a little bit, and that will lock open. See how it locked open? Because it's starting to fall out of the hole. And then I just want to rotate the tractor side, this side, counterclockwise, or this side clockwise. So in this case, I'm going to just rotate both. Whichever one's easier to turn will make it come out of the hole. Locking open the locking pin is very helpful for uncoupling, especially if the tractor side doesn't freewheel. You need to lock your pin open, and you need to have both hands on this side to do the disconnection. So the way that would work is you pull this pin. Now sometimes this pin will pop out and stay open automatically because it's trying to uncouple. Sometimes it falls right back in the hole. This is what that would look like, see? So to get it to lock open is I pull this out. As soon as I pull that out and I jiggle that plate a little bit, you see how it stays locked open. It will never pop back in the hole unless I rotate it the direction of coupling, then it got to pop in the hole. But if I'm pulling it, I jiggle it, let it fall out of the hole, it stays locked open. As long as I'm rotating just this side, the pin's locked open. If this tractor didn't freewheel, we're going to simulate that. This tractor not freewheeling, I'm just rotating this side. And you see I didn't have to hold the locking pin back while uncoupling. This is a very helpful tip. Once you're finished uncoupling the system, to keep you from losing this little pin here, I recommend you put it in one of those 4 holes. It locks in, it will not fall out, and it'll keep it from getting misplaced while you're uncoupled. Some people will put it on their tractor hole, that's fine too, but I would rather you have it here. Makes it a little easier to keep track of. So if you're dealing with something that I have not covered on this video, then please reach out to me, give me a call. We can figure out what's going on with yours. We can add it to the FAQ or to a future video even. Thank you for being our customer, and happy PTO connecting. This is where we utilize the PTO line spanner wrench. So as you just saw, I dropped that on my foot. And that's why we might want to utilize the sling at the same time here.